Brahma Vishnu
Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. From last class, before class, we finished the 12 yagnas. So let's again see a recap of what these 12 yagnas are. The first is Deva Yagna. What is Deva Yagna? The literal meaning of Deva Yagna is invoking the Devas and performing rituals to them. But here, since these 12 yagnas for the betterment of each individual, so that their mind is elevated to an equipoised state where they can attain jnana. So this Deva Yagna relates to anything and everything you do. It should be a dedication to the Lord or the Devas. And moreover, Deva Yagna is Deva means it is illuminating. So through eyes we see colors and forms. Through ears we hear. So all these five senses, through them only we get the knowledge. So in everything, in whatever we do, we should start dedicating it to the Lord. And then the next is Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna means that is what the lower eye reaching the higher eye. Lower eye is compared to the river here. There it goes, merges with the ocean to become one. So in such a way, we should reach the Brahma to become the one. But for that, what we can do, for example, a person donates a big, large sum amount to a temple for the restoration of the temple, then naturally he has his name in front of the temple to show up that he was the one who donated the amount. So it should not be in such a way. Whatever you do, you should not have personal gains to it. You should always think it's the Brahma, our Almighty's contribution. So if that happens, then naturally us reaching the Brahma will be very easy. Next is Indriya Samyamaha, that is technique of controlling the stimuli at the very gateway of the senses. Then the next is Visaya Bhoga Yagna, technique of controlling the same from the inner mind. So, as soon as you see, how does your mind get signals? When you see something interesting right in front of you, you get tempted. There is a cupcake right in front of you, you get tempted. So then goes into the mind, and mind says, go pick the cupcake and have the cupcake. Go drink the coffee. So these two are connected. So as soon as you see, you should make sure that doesn't enter your mind. So that is where controlling the stimuli at the very gateway of the senses. Next technique is that inner mind. You should start controlling the inner mind, and you should say this is not right for us at this time of the day or this time of the night. Next is Atma Samyaha. That comes it's called as 10 horses, the sense organs, the 5 sense organs, and the actions associated with the sense organs. So you have to control these wild horses. Next is Dravya Yagna. What is Dravya Yagna? Dravya Yagna is donating material, that is material benefits. In those days, they used to conduct Yagna, where lots of material things like cows, food, clothes, everything was distributed to everyone who came to the Yagna, particularly for the Brahmins. And here, even emotional donation is also considered. It should also be there. That is, emotionally also you should know where to control yourself, and emotionally where you should give up. In that comes the Kanyadanam, that also becomes a one kind of Dravya Yagna. Next is Tapo Yagna, that relates to the Viratham. Whatever that we take, for example, the Sabrimala, 48 days, you perform certain kind of rituals where you are more connected to the Lord. If that happens, that becomes a tapas for us to reach the Brahman, and we control our senses, everything, and we don't wear our chappal, so we get used to walking in the sand, and so this everything helps us to get more attached with the Lord, the Brahman. Then Yoga Yagna, That is Patanjali Yoga Sutra describes, gives a very clear picture of what should be done. Through this is not only a kind of exercises that are followed, it has everything in it. It's Anamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and all these koshas are related, taken care of. That comes meditation, that comes exercises, that comes reading, everything comes under this. And then Swadhyaya Yagna. Swadhyaya Yagna is memorizing the verses. So that what Swami said is Gita is an easy form for us to memorize. So when we memorize the Sanskrit, it will be easy for us to recite and understand the meaning of it. Next is Jnana Yajna. This Jnana Yajna, we all know what it consists of: Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasana. So Shravanam is listening, Mananam is processing, and Nididhyasana is meditation. Then comes Pranayama. What is Pranayama? Pranayama is breathing in, holding your breath, and breathing out is what Pranayama is. Kumbhaka is holding in.
Chakra.
Rechaka is breathing out. Purachaka. Puraka is breathing in. Kumbhaka is holding in. And Rechaka is breathing out. Again, Kumbhaka comes in. So when you breathe in, hold your breath, it is called as Antra Kumbhaka. And when you breathe out and hold your breath, it is called as Bhaya Kumbhaka. Bhaya Kumbhaka. Then Ahara Niyama Yagna. What is that? Controlling our food. We should have control over the food, what we eat, and what is good for us to go on this journey of self-knowledge. So the next slide. When we do all these 12 yagnas, what happens to us? We get self-control, inner integration happens, intense meditation happens, self-development happens, and inner growth also happens. This belongs only to the individual. That is, I have to do all these 12 yagnas, only then I'll get all these above mentioned qualities. I cannot depute to someone else to do the 12 yagnas and expect me to reach the Brahman. And to do that, you should have self-introgression, where you should go into yourself, understand yourself, and it has to be done with self-effort and investing continuous and sincere self-effort and self-dedication with selfless activity. Like anything we do, it should be selfless. You go for a walk. That might be good for yourself, but that should be selfless. You should not take it as I did it. I went for a walk. That attitude should not be attached to this 12 yagnas. And these 12 yagnas ultimately lead to the ultimate Brahman. So these paths are done by self-effort, as I said before, but these are not only the means. These are only the means, not an end by itself. That is, we have to do only this, not like that. It is one of the means. There are many such means explained in the Vedas, but these 12 are Krishna has taken out specially for us to have to understand and follow. So what is basically Jnana Yajna is sacrifice of ignorance in knowledge. To understand the knowledge, we have to sacrifice the ignorance. Ignorance is what? Claiming the lower I, this body, this Stula and Shukshma Sariram as I. We should start to claim the higher I, the Atma as who you are. That is the knowledge. So sacrificing the ignorance to attain the knowledge is Jnana Yajna. So what happens when you attain the right knowledge? All the karmas have an end.
Verses 4.3 and 4. Tad viddhi pranipatena
तदतिथिपातेन
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानम् ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः the meaning is, may you gain that knowledge by prostration, by service, and by proper enquiry. The wise sages will impart that knowledge to you. This verse is a further elaboration about the Jnana Yoga. Here actually, Krishna is emphasizing the importance of a guru. So to get Jnana Yoga, we need two things. We have two requisites. One is Shastras. That is scriptures which deal with self. These scriptures, there are so many, but we want scriptures which will deal with self-knowledge, Atmajnana. And these scriptures act like mirrors to see ourself. They are called as Shastra Darpana. They may be in various forms, so many scriptures, just like different forms of mirrors. When we look in a normal mirror, we just see our reflection. We don't see who we are inside. We don't see our thoughts, our emotions and all that. But these scriptures, they will act as mirrors. They should ideally inspire us to self-interrogate, think more about ourselves and gain this knowledge. The guru, the importance of the guru is, he is needed to hold that mirror properly. But only when we go through the proper way of learning, we cannot do self-study for scriptures. We need a proper guru. Why is that? He holds the mirror properly. It is symbolically, only he can show us how the scriptures can help us. And he removes the dust on the mirror. The dust on the mirror is equated to doubts that we have. When we have doubts, we are supposed to clear it with our guru. Be very clear with the knowledge that we are receiving. We should remove all doubts. So the guru holds the mirror properly to see our inner self, and he also removes the dust on the mirror. There are different types of gurus according to Bhagavad Gita. One is initiating, one is inspiring, and one is teaching. So what type of guru should we want? We need. An initiating guru is someone whom we do Pada Puja for. He will tell you one mantra in your ear and you're supposed to meditate with that mantra. That is one type of guru. Another guru is very inspiring. His talks are very interesting. We can listen to him and think, okay, we will change this in our life. We will study more. We will get a person. He will just inspire us. But the teaching guru is the one guru who can give us the knowledge that we need to gain moksha. So ideally, we need a teaching guru. A teaching guru is one who has the knowledge and one who can communicate and teach too. Nalla padikkiravanga nalla teachers kedaiyadu. Teaching is a skill by itself. So you can have the knowledge, you can be the best student in the class, but we will not be able to communicate that knowledge to another person. So a good teaching guru is a Stotriya Brahma Nishta Guru. That is one who has the knowledge and one who has gained it in a sampradaya, and he knows how to communicate that knowledge also. So the requirements, now we have talked about the guru. We need a teaching guru who has good knowledge and communication skills. A guru is always ready to teach. Such kind of a guru is always ready to teach, always approachable. But what are the requirements of a student? He has to have an intense desire for knowledge, jijnasa, and humility or vinayasa. In the olden days, there was a humility. In those days, in the Gurukul system, the students used to go to the house of the Guru They used to perform menial tasks, cleaning the house, cleaning the
Books.
area where the cows were, tending to the cows and livestock, cooking, washing clothes, everything. So the teaching here, the text here is explaining that gives time for the guru and the student to understand each other. The student learns humility, he learns that doing menial tasks is not bad, he gains respect towards his teacher. At the same time, the guru also learns to accommodate to the students' bandwidth. The verse here says pranipatena praniprashnena, that is falling at the feet of the guru and asking him, literally begging him for knowledge. So a perfect guru and a perfect student is explained in this verse. Hari Om.
Nitya. Nitya. Just not there.
All. No, not.
Yajñātva na punarmoham. Yajñātva na punarmoham. Evam yasyasi pandava.
Evam yasyasi pandava.
Yena bhutanyasheshena. Drakshyatmanyato mayi.
After gaining that knowledge, you will not get into delusions in this manner. Once again, O Arjuna, by that knowledge, you will see all beings without exception in me as well as in yourself. Here, Lord Krishna explains about the glory of knowledge. That is, we've seen from the 12 yagnas. That is from 25th to verse 34. And then in this, Lord Krishna also explains about two main benefits for attaining jnana. One is that is the biggest problem in our life is mainly attachment. We get attached to everything around us, not only human beings, the things are also, we get attached to the things as well. So this conflict is the weakness. This for us to get out of that attachment is the conflict, and that weakness is born out of attachment, which we want to avoid in the future. To face the future with Jnana Yoga, we have to avoid the attachments. And knowledge gives strength, and that gives us the strength to make decisions and avoid these conflicts in life. Because what does the knowledge say? Anything, everything is not permanent. Whatever we see, anything, whatever it may be, when it has a beginning, it has an end in itself. So, yet jnanatva moham na yasyasi. By gaining self-knowledge, Arjuna, you won't get into conflict anymore. So, self-knowledge keeps you sane.
What are the conflicts?
Conflicts are the attachments. First benefit வந்து conflicts, that is attachment. Attachment நம்ம எல்லாத்து மேலே அட்டாச்மெண்டா இருக்கணும். நம்ம ஹியூமன் பீயிங்ஸ் மட்டும் கிடையாது. ஒரு பொருள் மேலே எனக்கு இந்த பாட்டில் தான் பிடிக்கும்னா இந்த பாட்டில் தான் நம்ம வேணும்னு நினைப்போம். பட் வாட் இஸ் அல்டிமேட்லி எனிதிங் தட் வி கெட் அட்டாச் டு, அது வந்து அதுக்கு லைஃப் கிடையாது. ஹேஸ் அதாவது ஒரு பார்ன் டேட் இருந்ததுன்னா எண்ட் டேட்டோட தான் எவ்ரிதிங் அரவுண்ட் அஸ் கம்ஸ் டு அஸ். ஸோ அப்படி இருக்கும் போது நாலேஜ் கிவ்ஸ் அஸ், தட் நாலேஜ் கிவ்ஸ் அஸ் த ஸ்ட்ரென்த். Next is Atma Jnanam. Atma alone is here and all others are illusion. இதுதான் அந்த அட்டாச்மெண்ட்டுக்கு நான் சொன்ன ஆன்சர். And one who sees everything in self knows that there is nothing but only the self. The truth is the Satyam, the truth is Brahman, the Atma. So in deluded state, when one sees the world, there is fear, hatred, sorrow and suffering. But when all is seen as Atma, there can be no delusion and no sorrow. In anything we see, we start to see the Atma, then even that person departs, only the Atma will be seen by us, not the emotions attached to the person who's no more right in front of us. In one verse, Krishna explains to Arjuna that whoever you see right in front of you are only the forms, but they are not the reality. So aspiration for the higher self should be strengthened in order to overcome the desires of one's lower nature.
படம் எடுத்து
அது எனக்கு தெரியல, அதான் போட்டிருக்காங்க.
கையில பாம்பு நினைச்சு
கையில பாம்பு
கையில
இப்ப வந்து வேதாந்தாவே வந்து Tattva is based on this principle that a person sees a rope, but that person misunderstands it as a snake. Snake நினைச்சீங்கன்னா அது பயம், பட் அதுவே ஒரு rope நினைச்சீங்கன்னா so second benefit, yena bhutanya sesana draksasya manyatho mani jivatma paramatma aikya darshanam. That is the merging with her Brahma. So once we gain the knowledge, we will know the entire creation is resting in God. So in everything we see, we can see the Lord. So not only one will know the whole world is in God, but also that God is oneself. That is in the ocean, like I said before, waves are only a form, but in them they are water. I mean, they are nothing but the ocean. You will see the entire creation which is resting in the total self, which is non-different from the individual. So I'm nothing but part of the creation. I'm not different from the creation. Each one of us in the room are part of the creation. And I can see me in you, you in myself. So self and God are one and the same. The man of self-realization is nothing but God himself.
To tell you one thing, what I understood, ஒரே ஒரு லைன்ல சொல்லு. This verse is glorifying ஞானம். ஞானம் அப்படிங்கிறது knowledge, self knowledge. அது எப்படின்னா ரெண்டு வகையில. ஒண்ணு வந்து don't get attached to anything அப்படின்னு சொல்றதோட அந்த அட்டாச்மெண்ட்னால நம்ம எல்லாமே தப்பிச்சு ஓடணும்னு நினைக்கிறோம். சப்போஸ் யூ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு ஃபேஸ் சம்திங், பட் அந்த ஞானம் வந்துருச்சுன்னா நீங்க அதை ஃபேஸ் பண்ணாதான் உங்களுக்கு அடுத்த லெவலேன்றது நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஸோ அதுல இருந்து தப்பிக்க முடியாது. ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அந்த நாலேஜ் அதனால வரணும். ரெண்டாவது, ஒன்ஸ் அந்த நாலேஜ் வந்துருச்சுன்னா நான் வேற கடவுள் வேறன்றதும் எல்லாமே அந்த கடவுளால தான் நடக்குது, அந்த கடவுளே நான் தான். அப்படி இருக்கும்போது நான் ஏன் அதை மாத்தி யோசிக்கணும், தப்பிச்சு ஓடணும். ரெண்டே பாயிண்ட். இந்த வருஷம் எனக்கு புரிஞ்சதை நான் சொல்லுவேன்.
I thought on the second I darshanam jivan expression. Once we see everyone as ourselves, we will treat others how we want to be treated.
Exactly. Even or object or whatever, when we start saying this object is not different from us, then we start respecting the object also like it is.
And empathy of the time.
Arun Selvi is also there.
Api chedasi papebhyah
Api chedasi papebhyah
sarvebhyah papakrittamah
sarvebhyah papakrittamah
sarvam jnanaplavenaiva
sarvam jnanaplavenaiva
vijnanam santarishyasi.
Even if you are the worst sinner of all sinners, you will cross over the entire ocean of sin by boat of knowledge. So in previous two verses, we have seen Mohanasha and Aikya Darshana, that is attachment, desire, how to go away with that. Aikya Darshanam is getting us understand the self. In this verse, we are going to see Sarva Papanasham. That is how all our pavams will be destroyed in one go. Anadi Avithya Vasanya. That is doing prachita for every papa, which includes previous janmas papas as well, is not possible. That is, we think that we've done something wrong and do prachita. That will be only this birth. what will happen to the previous birth pavams we have done? And when you do the prachittam, are we adding to the pavam? Yes, at the same time, we'll acquire pavams in this janma as well. So it does not mean that one beauty we do prashittam for one pavam, it does not mean everything will be solved or dissolved. So Krishna compares our pavams to ocean. And to cross the ocean, we need a boat called Jnanam. So Jnanam boat will keep us afloat and it will also help us to cross the ocean of pavam. So to cross this ocean, this universe or this janma is what nothing but Jnanam. So Krishna affirms Arjuna, even if your worst sinner of all pavams enumerated in scriptures, Sarvam Samdharisyasi, you can cross over the Jinnam, that is Pava Sagara, with this boat of self-knowledge. That is, even whatever mentioned in the scriptures, you've done the extreme pavam also. Only solution for you to cross this cycle of birth is nothing but the boat called self-knowledge. Jnanam is the best remedy for a papanasha. Tirukural is what that relates to the verse what we have done. பிறவி பெருங்கடல் நீந்துவார் நீண்டார் இறைவன் அடி சேராதார். இறைவனுடைய திருவடிகளை பொருந்தி நினைக்கின்றவர் பிறவியாகிய பெரிய கடலை கடக்க முடியும், மற்றவர் கடக்க முடியாது. The same thing what it is beautifully explained by Tiruvalluvar in this Quran.
இந்த verse நான் புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டதை நான் திருப்பி repeat பண்ணுவேன். Unless you get the ஞானம், you cannot go out of your pavam. ஆமா, இல்லைன்னா வீல்ல சுத்திட்டே தான் இருப்போம். நீங்க எத்தனை முறை கோயிலுக்கு போனாலும் சரி, எவ்வளவு பரிகாரம் செஞ்சாலும் சரி, you cannot escape from it. But once you get the knowledge, you are completely out.
எத்தன் திரு குறிப்பிடும் சமிந்தோ இக்னரி fire of knowledge reduces all karmas to ashes, just as a well-kindled fire reduces the fuel to ashes. The fire of knowledge. Yes, the Jnana Agni, the fire of knowledge. Kultina reduces. Sarva karmani basmasa. All karmas will be shifting to ashes. Tata, just as well-kindled fire reduces the fuel to ashes. எப்படி கட்டையெல்லாம் எரிஞ்சு சாம்பலாகுதோ அது மாதிரி நமக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய நாலேஜ் இருந்தால் அந்த ஃபயர் ஆஃப் நாலேஜ் வில் பசுமாக்கிற எல்லா பாவத்தையும். இதுதான் ரொம்ப அது சர்வ கர்மானி பசுமாக்கிற ஆல் கர்மாஸ் டு ஆஷஸ் அப்படின்னு போட்டு அது 8 கம்போனன்ட்ஸ். ஹியர் என்னென்ன கர்ம பலம் நமக்கு இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா சஞ்சித கர்ம பலம், பிராரப்த கர்ம பலம், ஆகாமி பிராரப்த கர்மபலம், அந்த ஆகாமி கர்மபலம். இந்த சஞ்சித கர்மபலம்ங்கிறது அக்கேட் இந்த பாஸ்ட் ஜென்மஸ், அது கிளவுட் மாதிரி. பிராரப்த கர்மா பலம், the portion of past karma which has matured in the present ஜென்மா. இன்னும் முன்னாடி செஞ்ச பாவத்துல ஏதோ கொஞ்சம் இந்த ஜென்மத்துக்கு மெச்சூர் ஆகிருக்கும். ஆகாமி கர்மா which we acquire through the present actions. These are the 3 karma palams. இந்த எல்லா all the karma plans will be destroyed by the knowledge அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. சஞ்சிதம் is destroyed. முன்னாடி சேர்த்து வச்ச ஜென்மத்தில் சேர்த்து வச்சு destroy ஆகிடும். ஆகாமி we can avoid doing forms. பிராரப்தம் is exhausted. எப்படின்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னா just it will give, the knowledge will give as the insulation to avoid an electric shock. when you touch the wire. அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி it will give a protection. Krishna compares knowledge to Agni, huge fire. Karmas are compared to all types of food. Sarva Papanasha, Sarva Karmanasha. Both பாவம் நம்ம முதல்ல வருஷத்துல பார்த்தது நம்ம செஞ்ச பாவம்லாம் போயிடும். புண்ணியம் என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னு கேட்டா புண்ணியமும் போயிடும். சர்வ கர்மநாசா சர்வ பாவநாசா. போத் பாவம் அண்ட் புண்ணியம் will be destroyed. ஏன்னு கேட்டால் இப்போ நம்ம பாவம் பண்ணிட்டோம், நம்மளை கூட நரகத்தில் போட்டாங்க அப்படின்னா அப்புறம் புண்ணியம் நமக்கு பலன் வரும்போது போனோம்னா அந்த பாவம் gives immediate sorrow. நம்ம பாவம் பண்ணோம்னா உடனே நம்மளை கொண்டு போய் இதில் போட்டுருவோம், அந்த பாவம் இமீடியட் சாரோ வந்துடும். புண்ணியம் will give sorrow later. ஸ்லோவாக தான் நமக்கு புண்ணியத்துடைய துன்பம் தெரியும். அதனால் நமக்கு புண்ணியம் பாவம் ரெண்டுமே போகணும்னா the knowledge is very important. சர்வ பாவநாசா and சர்வ கர்மநாசா. ஓகே, கொஞ்சம்
இப்போ லாஸ்ட் வருஷமும் இந்த வருஷமும் சேம்.
அதேதான் பாவத்தை மட்டும் தான்
If you do lot of punyam, what you do, you will not get knowledge, you will end up in heaven. But heaven is also not permanent. Once your time ends, then naturally you fall into this.
So
We
the cycle
again the cycle continues.
அது புண்ணியத்துக்காக பண்றோம்னு சொல்றது கூட தேவையில்லை.
That also never gives us the liberation.
Once we know our knowledge, புண்ணியம் பார்க்கும் டிஃபரன்ஸ் நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும். லவ்லி தான்.
ஓகே, நான் வேற
அதாவது அடுத்து
knowledge வந்துருச்சுன்னா
அது செய்யும்போது இதுக்காக செய்யறோம் எல்லாமே. பாவநாசம், இன்னொன்று வந்து கர்மநாசம். பாவம் வந்து தப்புன்னு நம்மளுக்கு எல்லாத்துக்கும் தெரியும். கர்மநாசம் ஏன் சொல்றாங்கன்னா புண்ணியத்தினாலையும் நம்மளுக்கு அந்த birth and death cycle continue ஆயிட்டு.
Once you get the knowledge, you don't have the difference of punyam and pavam.
Okay.
Because your knowledge will test.
நஹியானேன சத்ருஷாம்
Nahiyanena sadrisham
பவித்ரமிஹ வித்யதே
pavitramina vidyate
தத் ஸ்வயம் யோக சம்சித்தः
tatsvayam yoga samsiddhah
காலேன மணி விந்ததி
kalena manivindati. Indeed, there is no other purifier in this world like knowledge. Prepared through yoga, one attains that knowledge in the mind easily in time. So, going and having a bath in Ganga will not purify us. Sadhana's certain do's and do nots. Knowledge is greatest purifier in the creation. Among all purifiers, Jnanam is the greatest purifier. All purifiers can destroy all type of pavam, but not Ajnanam. So there is no purifier equivalent to knowledge. That is basically what I said before. That people think that going and taking a dip in Ganga will purify me. Only the self-knowledge, to understand the self, is what the knowledge we need to get purified.
இப்போ கங்கைக்கு போகணும் இல்லையா?
Pola, but not necessary to get ourselves purified. Knowledge is very important. That is what any Vedanta, any Upanishad read, that is what the explanation is. Then yoga samsiddha khalena mani vindati. A qualified person who has prepared himself for the knowledge. So how do we attain knowledge? That we have to prepare ourselves. Like how when you start agriculture, you plow the land, you sow the seeds, you irrigate the land, you fertilize the land, and then naturally the crop grows and we harvest the crop. So in the same way, to attain Jnanam, we should also get prepared. So Atma Jnanam is a seed to grow. The mind must be prepared. The one with the prepared mind is called Samsiddha Purusha. For the preparation of mind, the methods of yoga is practiced. Karma yoga, Ashtanga yoga, or Karma yoga and Upasana yoga. That is, we've already seen in the introduction of Vedanta, brief introduction, what Karma Yoga, what Upasana, and what Bhakti Yoga is. So these are all the ways that helps us to get our mind
Prepared.
ready, prepared for the Jnana Yoga. So Veda has prescribed a lifestyle meant for spiritual growth. Vedic culture does not ignore material growth, but primarily concentration is towards spiritual growth. So we need to know the principles or mechanism behind our way of life. We need to follow the Vedic way of life. It is meant for inner growth alone, and that is called yoga. That is, this Vedic way is for our inner growth. So when inner growth happens, naturally the material benefits attached with it will no matter to us. So we will naturally never be attached to anything, even material growth or any attachment will not be there for us. So prepared mind through a religious way of life is who takes care of physical health, emotional health, moral health, intellectual health. This is what all the 4 koshas that we have already seen. Physical health is the Annamaya kosha, emotional health is the Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, and moral health is the, and intellectual health both is Vijnanamaya kosha, and Pranamaya kosha is also the physical health might have both Annamaya kosha and Pranamaya kosha. So in Vedantic language, it is called Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna. We have already seen what Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna is. So the person with the above qualities will attain this knowledge. Where will he attain the knowledge? Do you have a time frame? So Krishna says, in 1 month you will attain knowledge. In 1 year, that is not the way for us to think about attaining knowledge. Do your duty. Whenever that praptam for us comes, then naturally we'll attain the knowledge. So Atmani, in the pure mind, no knowledge can take place. And here you think knowledge happens in the Atma. No, Atma is never part of anything. Whatever happens, Atma is not part of anything. It is the Satyam, that is the truth. So no knowledge can take place in the body. That is also not possible through our body. So therefore, knowledge has to take place in the buddhi alone, in your mind, where you should have a mind of equipoisement. That is a mind without any kind of attachment. So how long it takes to gain knowledge? Krishna doesn't want to come. He says, enjoy this journey and eventually you will attain jnana.
இதுல நான் புரிஞ்சுட்டு ஞானம் நான் இதே இருந்தா எப்போ வருவோம் தானே வரும்.
அப்படி சொல்ல முடியாது.
அதுக்கு
ஞானம் சொன்னா
அதுக்கு நம்ம வந்து நம்ம அது நீ ஏன் பண்ணணும், நீ ஏன் காலையில நிற்கணும், நீ ஏன் ஸ்கிரிப்சர்ஸ் படிக்கணும், நம்ம கேள்வி கேட்காம சொன்னதை செய்ய
ஞானம் ஒரு நாள் இருக்கும்.
அதுதாங்க, அதுக்குதான் ப்ரிப்பேர் யுவர் மைண்ட் பாடி அப்படி அதுதான் யோகா. அந்த 12 இது சொல்றாங்க, அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணீங்கன்னா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா ஞானம். ஆல் த லாஸ்ட் 5 verses ஞானத்தை குளோரிஃபை பண்ணுது. வை யூ நீட் ஞானம், அவ்வளவுதான். சிம்பிளா ஒரே இது.
வேற ஒரு இடத்துல கூட
நாலேஜ் கெயின் பண்ணாது.
Gita is like a mother. Sometimes you don't know why your mother says do this, do that. Just follow blindly. Similarly, you just follow all this blindly. Your mind and body will get prepared and ultimately you will attain that. Yes.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamaadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.